Okay, there is one person who is active on chat. What about others? All right, there it is. I see people. Manoj, Abhijit, one click, Bim, Troy. I'm not sure what is the name here, but hi to you. Then we have Chris has also joined. Yeah, there's a lot of background noise. Everyone, please stay on mute. Okay, fair enough. All right, let's get started. Here comes the first one. Let me see if you guys can answer it. Here it is. Give me an idea. Which movie this dialogue comes from? Quickly. What is the movie name? Let's see who goes first. Okay, Iron Man. Good guess, but no, I'm not. When I included this dialogue, I didn't include it with the idea of Iron Man. It was another movie.
It's a dialogue from Endgame.
Avengers. You have a lot of echo, man. So maybe you need to type it over there. It comes from the Avengers series. Can you guess which Avenger movie dialogue it is? Everyone, give me an idea in chat. Endgame. Yeah. And actually it is from Infinity War. But Endgame, the dialogue has, and I am Iron Man. So and is there, which I not included. Pretty close. I'm not sure what's your name. Give me your name. Your name is not coming up on the screen. But yeah, you're pretty close. It is from Avengers Infinity War. Okay, this one. Can you guys guess this one? If you are a fan of Avengers, Marvels, give me an idea. And you need to name that movie and who says it's Troy. Okay, fantastic. Give me an idea, everyone. Who says this dialogue and which movie it is from? Let's see. Thank you so much. I'm getting old and losing that memory. So I always forget about, recordings. Thanks for reminding. People do that in my workshops as well. All right. So let's see how many people are facing that challenge. Yes, yes, yes. Everyone is saying yes. Great. So we have a pretty relevant audience here, which is good to have. That is one of the biggest challenge because a lot of efforts goes in finding the leads, connecting with them, sending connection requests, then waiting for them to accept it. And then we send the first messages, whether through email or through regular message. And when we don't get the response, it's kind of heartbreaking. And it takes time, right? A big part of the day goes into this kind of LinkedIn marketing. And when the result doesn't come, it's really a heartbreaker. And that's what I'm trying to fix over here. Ladies and gentlemen, I got some samples for you so that I could show you what is going around and what is going wrong in that. So take a look at it. These are a couple of messages. I have it on your screen. Take 1 minute and read through it, and then I'm going to talk about it. Because only then I can point out what's wrong. Okay, let's go to the next messages. There it is. So I keep collecting it so that I could show you and why it is not working. These are the companies that have been helping them with LinkedIn social selling. All right, before we proceed, give me an idea. What is that you could find wrong in that you didn't like about it? As a customer, imagine yourself, you would be getting so many messages from others. Give me an idea what was wrong, because these guys, these messages are clearly underperforming when these candidates approached me, when these companies approached me and they wanted to me to improve things, give me an idea. What did you find wrong in that? So to see whether we both are aligned on that, just type it in your chat box or come on audio, talk to me, and if possible, come on videos as well. I would like to see some faces over here. It's all black windows I could see right now. It's very demotivating, I tell you, talking to yourself. But yeah, give me an idea. What did you find wrong? Just anything that can that you immediately get that, okay, I didn't like this part. This part I think could have been better. Give me an idea before I share my learnings to you guys. Let's see. You want to come online and talk to me and tell me that? That would be easy. Everyone, let's see. Let's hear it from Troy. Troy, you there? Less references to the services. Okay, that's what you think that's what you could find mistakes. Good catch. Others, what about you, Gurjeet, Chris, Manoj? What do you think? What's going wrong here? Or you think these are good messages, then you type it over there that I feel these are good messages only. Not addressing the pain point, rather promoting the product. That's a very good catch, Chris. Amazing. All right. That's one thing we need to pay attention to, that if it sounds salesy, then it's a problem. More content. We'll come to that. That's a very good catch, James. I don't find the value to the services. Absolutely. There is no value to the services. And that's what is going on around here, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of things are going wrong with these messages. And the results are there is no response from the customers, no enquiries, no sales, and no growth for yourself also. And we are wasting a precious time into something which is, it's like plain promoting. That's right, Manoj. I don't find the value of the services. It's like plain promoting. That's right. So this is what is going on, and this is what I'm trying to address over here, because I don't want people losing time, because that's the most important currency that we have. If we lose time, it's a big problem. So here it is, the list of things that I find wrong in all these messages and tons of messages that I have with me. First of all, treating LinkedIn like an email marketing, where you blatantly can promote yourself. That's what people think. And they think by just putting my name or by just adding that I know you are a LinkedIn influencer, and then straight away jumping onto the sales pitch, these things will work and immediately generate an inquiry for you, is a wrong approach. It's a very, very wrong approach, and things go wrong over there only. It's very transactional. Transactional in the sense there is no value addition happening over there. We'll talk about how to add those values and what are those elements that bring that value, but it's very transactional. No personalization, just by writing the name or just by saying I understand or I liked your profile and this kind of things you say, and you think it's personalized and that it will work. It doesn't work like that. Personalized means something else here, connecting to their business, connecting to their problems, connecting to the solution that they're expecting. That's what personalization means over here. No probing questions. So people don't even ask questions to make sure that everything falls in perspective, everything falls in context, and people know what we are talking about. The customers, they should know. Right, straight away started selling. That's a very wrong thing. No pain point, no value proposition or USPs, like some of you pointed out that services are not explained properly. What you're trying to say is basically USPs, why I should be interested in it, is not there. No case study or storytelling. That's another big miss. And no proper reward for taking actions. Just like in this case, you can see quick call. If I do that quick call with her, what is the value I'm going to get? What is the value that, what is that thing I will learn in the quick call? What is I'm going to gain out of it? It's not answered. Straight away, people are asking you to take actions, and after that, they don't reward you in terms of whether there will be some new insight, there will be some case study that will be discussed, or you're going to give a straight solution to some of my biggest problem. No idea of that. All right. and then no urgency is created that people feel like taking actions. So these are some of the things that are missing at the value part of it. And then there are things which is even more worst, is something like sharing a large message. Look at how many lines they have put together. It is very depressing. On LinkedIn, people don't feel like, reading this kind of big messages. No proper structuring of message. What do I mean by that? These things, if they would have put it in a bullet points, it would have sounded much better. It would have been easy to read and understand also. That's how human psychology works, right? So there are readability issues, there are spelling mistakes, there are no bullet points. So things are going terribly wrong because there is no proper planning, there is no proper preparations. They have one message and they keep sharing it to, distributing it to everyone, like broadcasting, and they think that the results will come. Results will not come. And this is where this program comes, everyone, to address these mistakes. I have brought in a couple of templates for you, couple of strategies that would help you put together a better message. Let's talk about it. First of all, couple of do's and don'ts that we need to do. Let's talk about things about subject line first. All right. First of all, subject line comes when you are sending an email, right? When you're sending an email, you put a subject line over there. Yes or no? Give me an idea that you guys are relating to what I'm saying. That when we are sending an email message, we put a subject line, we put a body. It's as simple as that, right? Now, when you are writing a subject line, sometimes I have seen the subject line is so long that half of it is not even coming, or it's not even readable. And then what happens? People get only half of the message. And on phone, it's even most of the time LinkedIn is being checked on phone right now. Most of the time, 60-70% of the time, people are checking it over the phone. And on phone, you can see it's even smaller, right? That kind of length is not there. So message is cut. If your subject line doesn't make sense to people, they won't proceed further to read the body of it. So keep your subject line short. Personalize it. We're going to talk about it, how to personalize it, connect with people's pain point, connect with people's problem, specificity and usefulness. So the problem that you discuss should be valuable to them, and the solution that you give should be like enlightening. Wow, this is what I'm looking for. That is the kind of feeling people should have. All right. Not just blatant sales pitch over there. And be very authentic. We'll discuss about it, what I mean by authenticity. But let's first take a look at a couple of tips for writing the body. Now, let me tell you, if you want people to take action and come back to you, people come back only for two reasons. Either you have touched upon the biggest pain that they are facing right now, or you have touched upon the biggest desire that people have. For example, if you are in a B2C industry and you reach out to me and talk about a specific car or a beautiful car that I'm looking to buy, or I'll be delighted to buy, then only I'm coming to you. If it is in B2B and we talk about people's problem like pain, then only they react. Otherwise, there is no reaction. That is one of the biggest factor. And pain, like most of you would be knowing here, and when I talk about, pain is very important, and half of you would be rolling eyes also. We already know that. But, pain is not just typing one problem. It is about the biggest problem that people can face. This is where many times we go wrong. We think that this is the biggest problem and we type it over there. It doesn't work like that. You need to do some research. You need to go on Quora. Quora, how many people know Quora here or use Quora? Just type in yes over there. Give me an idea. Yeah, I am in Quora. Yes, yes, yes. So this is where you need to go. Type in your domain or industry you are in or the product you are selling. Let's say, for example, you're selling digital marketing. Go over there, type digital marketing, just 2 words, and see what kind of questions people are asking. What kind of problems people are looking a solution for. And most discussed one, you take that one. So it's not out of your understanding. There has to be backed by a proper research, and Quora can help you with that. It's an amazing platform, and it talks of, people are asking questions about anything and everything, whether you're selling a machine, whether you're selling a software, whether you are selling a hardware or it is a service, you will find questions related to that their users are asking, and those users are your customers. So please make sure that you pick up the top level pain over there. All right, personalize it, add social proofs. Now, this is the biggest thing that people miss most of the time. They don't even mention the kind of customers they are working with. That's one of the biggest problem. How about Reddit? If you can find that information on Reddit also, you can use any platform. There are so many platforms. What I'm trying to say is what is important is that you do this research and figure out what is the biggest problem that most of the people talk about. All right. Now in digital marketing, I can write a message, create a message on SEO. But if those people don't relate to SEO, then there is no point. So I go to Quora, I figure out digital marketing and see what people are talking about. Is it LinkedIn or is it Facebook or is it Google ads or is it Facebook ads or is it SEO? And then I use one of that as a hook, right? Which one is being talked more? So that's very, very important. Social proofs you need to add. It has to be in a storytelling format. We'll talk about it in one of the templates. You need to talk about customer feeling. How do they feel about it? That's very important. Okay. So not just mentioning their problem, you should also add how do they feel about it so that it becomes more impactful, that message. Remember, it's not about your message. It's not about your product. It's about touching that emotion. You touch that emotion of pain or desire and you have people reacting to it. All right. There has to be probing questions so that everything comes in the context. All right. There is one template. We'll discuss about that. And then there has to be actions or shorter goals that people would like to take. And you should reward them as for that. Not just simply, I would like to discuss more. Can we have a call? Nobody is going to give a damn about it. Why should I have a call with you? That is the first question that comes to the mind. What is that you have to offer to me? So that has to be very, very valuable. So keeping all these things in mind, let's take a look at the first template, which follows the format of AIDA. AIDA is nothing but short for attention. Attention is, as I said, you can get it with either talking about the pain or results, the desires part of it. Then you convert that attention into interest. Then that interest, you take it into desire further, and then you make your ask so that people react to it. It's a very scientific formula. It comes from marketing. People are using it left, right, and center everywhere. You would have also heard it at one point or the other. Give me an idea. Have you heard of this before? Type a yes or no. And in what context did you heard of it? Marketing or sales, or give me an idea. Or email or something else. So are you guys aware of it? Just type yes or no and give me an idea, everyone. Right. While you type, let's move forward and check that out. So what is AIDA? This is a very scientific formula to attract anybody and get him interested into something which he doesn't know about also right now. For example, he's not aware of your product. He's not aware of your service. He's not aware of the benefits also that it's going to offer. Now you have to get this person hooked, interested, and at the same time come back to you asking for more. Now that takes a hell lot of efforts, and this formula, this framework can really help you do that. Let's see it in action, how it works. So I have one template for you, which we tried and tested as part of one of the company, and it really worked. So I thought I'll bring it, and I'm kind of giving it to everyone I could. And that's the formula: attention, interest, desire, and ask. First of all, let's talk about the subject line. Now, subject line has to be a question which brings out a problem. The question right now, the question that has been put is saying, is sales CRM using all the time in documentation? Now, the answer to that would be yes. Most of the people will say that is the problem. Only few people will not acknowledge that problem if they are not facing. Most of the people will acknowledge that problem. So always your subject line should come in a question format. Question format has the maximum engagement and response. or engagement is maximum that I can say, which means people will at least open your message and read it. All right. So a problem, put it as a question, is a very good subject line. All right. And if you have, you want to know whether, let's say, your subject line is doing good or not, there is a free tool and it's an amazing tool. It's called a subjectlinegrader.com, or rather email subject line, I think. Yeah, create subject lines with an impact. Subjectlinegrader.com. An amazing tool. It's a free tool. And if you copy and paste your subject line over here, it's going to tell whether you're doing a good job or not. For example, sales CRM for your. Let's try this and see what the score it gives me. Okay. Let's give an email. Well, this is a new tool that I'm coming across. The tool I used to use is email.subject.com. That's absolutely free and it doesn't even ask your email address and stuff like that. And you can straight away use it. From the sound of it, it looks ugly, isn't it? I can tell you it will be poorly rated. So let us see, it will tell you exactly what is good, what is bad. They rated me good in terms of character count and words count because it can be easily read on phone and laptop both. So that is where I score the highest marks. All right. Now let's see what it says. This email subject line could be improved with some words with emotion. So there is no emotion at all. There is no action words like do, or those kind of words where people would like to take action, or power words like grow, grow your, let us say, lead generation by 20%. So the grow is a power word. So neither it has power word, neither it has emotional words, neither it has action words. It makes it a very, very bad subject line. Let's check that out. All right. 100%. It cut my mark on character count and word count, but I got action word do and lead over there. That's why I could score better. But again, no emotional words. There can be better on that. So like that, this will guide you and it's a pretty good tool to help you out with. And you can figure out what subject line works good for you. But like I mentioned, don't blindly follow these marks also. Pick those ideas, but make sure that it is put in a question form and the pane that is discussed in there, it is the top level pane. Now let's talk about the format. So once you start, second thing is how do you grab their attention, which means your subject line got their attention. Now your first question that you're going to put should also grab their attention. And like I mentioned, the only thing that can grab attention is pain or desire. Since we have already used the pain in the first subject line, now second question can be on desire to catch their attention. So that's what we tried. What would you do with an extra 10 hours each week? Now this is a fantastic line. Everybody, it's a very emotional line. And people think, okay, if I have those 10 hours, they start actually thinking that what I'm going to do with that extra 10 hours. So we got them hooked there. This is called a perfect hook. Then you go and turn this into an interest and how customer feels about it by talking about that pain. I ask you because client like yourself have seen savings, if not more, on software stacks. So this is the kind of savings they have got. So we got that interest by showcasing driving that feeling, talking about it, saying, if you can get this, how would you feel about it? All right. Then we go into the third part, desire with social proofs, where we take a couple of customer names, just ask experts like Grant Cardone, Tim Henman, and Brian Tracy, who have seen this kind of results. And all right, then comes the action part of it, where you ask them to watch a video. Now, when you ask someone to watch a video, It's a very easy thing for them to do, right? So they would be happy to do that. So you got their attention, you managed to convert it into an interest, then you backed it up with the social proof that some of the industry big names have seen these kind of results. That's the psychology called as psychology of social proofs. So when you go on Amazon to buy, you look at the ratings. Why do you look at the ratings and reviews? Because you want to see if others are getting the results, you expect the same results. You're assured that you will also get the same results, right? So when you put these social proofs of customer names, it really works great. And then action has to be something which is easy for customer and will not be a hesitant thing to do. For example, if you directly ask call, it's a big thing to ask directly a call. Nobody would like to get into a call the very first time, especially on LinkedIn. All right. It doesn't happen in cold calling and all those kind of things. You can do it. Email also, you can try it, but email also, I don't recommend to anybody. What I recommend is make it so small, so easy for people that they would like to take that action. All right. It can be a video they can watch. It can be a customer case study they can read on your website. It can be some interview they can watch. It should be very, very easy. And then people will not feel hesitant to take that action because there is no obligations, because there is no fear of you will come back and try to sell me something which I won't like, right? That's the whole idea of it. Let's take a look at the second framework. It's also an amazing framework. I call it BABA, B-A-B-A. It's nothing but the short for before, after, bridge, and ask. Now, first of all, let me ask you this question. How many of you find this BABA name or acronym funny? Give me an idea. Do you find it funny or not? Right. It is funny. Okay. The first time when I created it also, right. I too laughed. I mean, but what could I do? That's how I need to explain and figure this out. So it's my limitation, everyone. This is the funny acronym I come up with, but yeah, it is easy to remember, by the way. That's psychology. If it is funny, you will remember it for a very long time. All right. So BABA, before, after, bridge. What it means is you start with, again, attention, right? Where you ask a question to people. Like in this case, it has been asked, do you people at XYZ deal with this particular problem? And that very specific problem you have to mention there. And the problem should be so big that people feel like going and reading about it. Okay, and these questions has to be close-ended questions, not open-ended questions. So answer should also be yes or no kind of deal, right? So it's very clear. So once you ask a question, then you go into the framework BABA, before, after, bridge, and ask. So you tell a little story that about before situation of a client that you worked with. So like, for example, I'm from XYZ and I'm working with dozens of companies from your field, like this X, Y, and Z. You give some social proofs over there to make sure their problems, what are their before problems? These are the problems. You can name 2-3 problems. I would recommend naming 3 problems over here. All right. So you can mention to make sure their problem related to email marketing, for example, not getting open rate, not getting response rate, not getting inquiries, are resolved on a daily basis because of our email marketing services. Then you go after, which means what happened after your services are taken. So before the services, there were so many problems. Now after the services, what is the result? Check out how XYZ company got X% more inquiries and revenue. This is the result you are giving to people over here. So after engaging with you, their game got changed. Inquiries and revenue after working with us. And then you give the link over there, which means you're bringing the action right over here. All right. So you say, this is the landing page or this is the video, check that out. And then you go and bridge it with ask, right? So you're bridging the entire thing with ask. If you think this can be useful for you, how about a quick call to discuss your specific challenges? Now here, if you are asking a quick call, which means you have to give them even more value in the call. which they look forward to. So for example, I would also like to show you how your competition is trending against you. Now, this is an immense value. Every CEO, every customer would like to know how their competition is doing, right? It's a immense value. Now, if you do that, then you have every right to ask for a quick call, and people will, or customers will happily do that for you. But if you think you're going to tell, let's have a quick call, I would like to show you a demo, nobody's interested in that. The second best thing, not the first best is competition comparison, and not your competition comparison, customer competition comparison. Second best thing you can use is, I would like to show you a case study, how one of a customer who was exactly like you, comes from manufacturing field, it's a small medium business, they had these problems, and how their results got changed engaging with us. I would like to run you through that specific case study to show you how you can also achieve those results. Now that can be the second best thing. All right, so make sure that happens. Now, if you are asking a quick call, unlike the template I showed you before, like that lady, she was saying, can we have a quick call? You cannot leave things at just by asking a quick call. You need to make it more specific and easy for people to reply. So you need to give them option, like, can we have a 11 a.m. tomorrow, or do you prefer 3 p.m.? Now, when you give people two options, they tend to choose between one. All right, so you can say, does 11 a.m. Tomorrow works for you, or does 3 p.m. day after tomorrow works for you? Which one would you prefer? And they say, I prefer this one. Then you ask the phone number, and that's how it goes. So you cannot just leave it at, have a quick call, let's do it, and those kind of things. Very, very important. So I hope Baba is clear to you guys. Give me a yes or a no, it's clear, and I can move on to my third template for you guys. All right. Okay, let me make sure now you guys are not on camera. Okay, that's one thing I don't like about you guys. Okay, very bad. You should be on camera showing me your face so I can be more engaging. But give me an idea. What was the last framework I discussed? Give me that acronym just to make sure that you guys are listening and not sleeping behind the camera. What was the first framework that we discussed? Give me that acronym and give me that full form so I proceed further. Troy, 100% marks to you. You are super active. Anthony, James, you are super active. Others, yeah, now we don't know if you guys are copying it or you were really, you know the answer. I don't know that. But let's talk about the second framework, which I just covered. What is it? Okay, give me the full name of it. Okay, like not just the acronym, give me the full name. What is Baba's full name? Give me that term. Everyone, before, yeah, after, bridge, and ask. Very good. So full marks to everyone. Those who responded, you guys, I kind of certify you. You guys are not sleeping. Others, absolutely no idea if you're not responding. But let's take a look at the third framework, which is again called storytelling with PSG. PSG is nothing but pain, solution, and gain. That's also a very scientific, psychologically pretty good formula to write and draft your message and will keep you on track. PSG is nothing but pain, solution, gain. Now, if you would have watched those ads, let me give you some ads and tell me if you remember those guys. Okay, those ads. One is, let us say, toothpaste ads. Do you remember any of the toothpaste ads? Geez, looks like I'm getting tired. I'm at a loss of words. But which toothpaste ad do you remember? Give me an idea. Immoform, Colgate. Okay, fine. What happens in that ad? Give me an idea. How do they show that ad? There would be this lady or a boy or a man. He would be, having pain in the teeth, and then they would apply this toothpaste, and suddenly they would be, eating ice creams and cold stuff and all those kind of things, isn't it? That's how they show it. Let's talk about some of this stuff. Uh, Deos, right? Perfumes and deos. So how do they show it? Yeah, Axe is my favorite, James. I'll tell you. Let me give you what happens in Axe. That when I was about like 13, 14, 15 years old, uh, that's like now I'm 65, so that's 50 years before. So this was the first ad I saw about Dio, and there used to be this guy who is alone, has no girlfriend, and on the verge of like suicide, dying of loneliness. And then suddenly he comes across Axe. He puts that Axe on, and then what happens is 4 or 5 model-looking girlfriends got attracted to him. And then you should have seen that feeling on his face. Every man here would like to have that. But the point here is, any product you see ads, they are formatted in terms of pain, solution, gain. First, they will show you the pain of not having that thing. For example, they will show you a fat guy. He's fat and ugly and nobody likes him. All right. Yeah, X is funny and unrealistic. X is practical. I'll tell you. That's such every college goer's dream. That is okay. All right. Talking about these ads, they comes in this particular framework, pain, solution, gain, and they try to first show that feeling of not having that thing. Then they give you that solution, and then what is the gain that you can get in the end, and the feeling that you have after that. For example, Bonvita, these health products, they will show you that your boy is not growing, your girl is not growing, or they're not intelligent enough. It's a bullshit concept, but yeah, it is still selling well. So they show you that, and then the mother, she's worried, she gives Horlicks or Bonvita, and then what happens is the guy starts growing, or they suddenly become topper of the class and stuff like that. Bullshit concept, but psychologically it works a lot on customers. All right, so that's what the one we're gonna use, pain, solution, gain, with storytelling. How does that go is, you start with, now what is storytelling is nothing but you're taking an existing customer case study, a customer that is similar to the person or industry you're targeting. Like most of the time you target one industry, right? First you go after the CEOs of manufacturing or HRs on those kind of stuff. You pick one designation or one industry and you go after them. Right or wrong? That's how you target on LinkedIn. Give me a yes or a no. That's how you go. Either you go after one industry, one type of company, one type of designations. That's how you make your criterias, right? So you pick a similar case study of one of the customer who is known and people are able to, or customer may be able to easily recognize if you have something like that. And then you start with the storytelling, where you say dental hospitals are struggling to generate customer inquiries. You straight away start with the pain. You take a customer name or the industry name and you start with the pain part of it. All right. Yeah, dental hospitals are struggling to generate customer inquiries. Like take example, Willowdale. Now this is where the storytelling starts. Like take for example, Willowdale, a dental hospital in Nevada. Our customer had the same problem when they approached us. And then you give that problem over there. That is the problem. So you elaborate the top pain point over there. Like for example, they were struggling with online marketing. It was hard, and offline marketing required heavy and consistent investment to generate customer inquiries. Our marketing cost is shooting up. That's what Willowdale said. All right, people would love to hear those quotes. Okay, what they said, they're very interested in it, your customers. Okay, so you can put a quote also over there. We implemented SEO plan as an online marketing solution. So this is where your solution comes. Fast forward, this is where the gain comes. Now remember, solution, you don't describe solution. Okay, solution is not there to describe. Solution is there for the namesake. Just like they don't sit and describe Bonvita or Axe Dio and all those kind of things, that what it contains. No, they just namesake use it, and then they move on to the results, because customers only relate to the pain and the results part of it and nothing else. Fast forward, Willowdale is ranking on the first page of the Google and have seen an extensive growth of 100% in customer inquiries with 1/3 of the existing investments. This is what they say now. And then you put the quote over there. Now, what is interesting and important about putting the results over there is it should be in numbers. So you cannot use stuff like their inquiries started growing or their revenue started growing. No, you have to put it into numbers because we understand the number psychology. All right. That is the psychology we understand. For example, a Bonvita ad, when they tell you that your boy will grow 5 inches taller, why do they show that 5 inches? They give this fairness creams and tell you put this fairness creams and try it, and then they show you the scale. Then you go from dark to fair. I have never come across anybody who has gone from fair to dark. There have been people who are trying, doesn't happen. I have never seen anybody who has dark has gone to fair, because that's the skin color you cannot change. But why is it selling? Because psychologically people are able to put that pressure on the customer, right? So why do they show that scale like 4 shades, 5 shades, to put that number psychology in you? Why do they tell you that if you eat our protein powder, you would gain 6 inches or you would lose 10 kg? Why do they put that 10 kg in 2 months? It's number psychology. When Domino's says your pizza will arrive in 30 minutes, why do they say that 30 minutes? So that you understand what is the value of going with Domino's and not others. So it's very important that the results should come in number, only then it will work for you. All right. Then you can put, this is what they said, kind of social proof that they were very happy. And then you move on to the next part and asking probing questions. Are you also struggling with these problems, X, Y, and Z? Then you make your ask, check out how we can help you double your conversions in the next 3 months. And you give a landing page link where you have a video, testimonials, and those kind of stuff, and take people over there. And on that landing page, you can have a form or a contact number or an email where people can contact you. And that's how, ladies and gentlemen, you take it forward. Otherwise, there is no way. You can keep trying, going random, taking random shoots. Sometimes it will hit, most of the time it will miss, right? So that's how you take, create multiple templates. You can use one template and create multiple messages out of it for different problems that they face. Every customer face multiple problems related to your product, not just one product or one problem, right? There are multiple problems. So you can create multiple messages, and you can mix and match these templates or these formulas that I have given it to you. 3 formulas I have given it to you: IDA, AIDA, BABA, BABA, and PSG with storytelling. How awkward that sounds when I continuously take those names. But yeah, this is how it works, everyone. Otherwise, you are here for a reason, and that reason is you're not getting that results. It will continue if you don't try this stuff. All right. If you would like me to review your messages, you have the WhatsApp group access, and you can put it over there, and I'll be happy to provide inputs also. All right. Now, second thing you need to change in your messages is make sure these messages are not large messages. It is depressing. It puts people into depression when they see this big message. So it's better you put short message, create short message, structure it very well. For example, my thumb rule is I don't club more than 2 lines together. So you won't see 3 lines or 4 lines or 5 lines. All right. It is 2 lines, and it always works the best. It looks beautiful, easy to read, and people like to read that. I don't use large paragraphs. I use Grammarly to make sure, or even if you have Gmail, you can copy and paste that message in Gmail. It will help you, grammatically correct it. So, you don't end up looking like an amateur or who is not even checking these kind of stuff. So please make sure this stuff is in place. Name is there. The customer name should be there properly. All right. All these things are very, very important. And this will at least give a good boost to your conversions. You will have much, much better conversions. I assure you of that. We've tried and tested it in multiple industries, and it worked like a charm. Absolutely, stunningly. So that is one part of how do you become better in your LinkedIn messaging or outbound, ladies and gentlemen. But there is a question to you. Uh, will it take you, give you a faster growth as well? Well, it won't. It is like kind of, a daily battle, you can call it. If you send 50 messages, there is a chance you will get a response back. If 2 days, 3 days you are not there, then you're not getting any inquiries. Let's say you fell sick, you're not there, you're attending a marriage, you're out there in Bahamas with your girlfriend, then what happens is you're not able to send it, you won't get inquiries. So your growth is the curve that it will follow in the company would be a regular growth. If you're an entrepreneur, your business will have a very regular growth. Now there is another type of way where you can grow much, much faster. And that stuff is, ladies and gentlemen, inbound marketing. Inbound marketing is nothing but you make a post, you write an article. I will give you strategies that you can do it in half an hour or 15-20 minutes you spend in a day, and you can put together a post that goes massive and give you massive results. Something to give you an idea, like these kind of things that I do online. So I've been able to crack the code. I've been teaching it to others, and they have been able to get some very amazing results. And the amount of inquiries that you would generate, the amount of branding that you would create for yourself, it will completely change the game. And you can see that I'm repeatedly getting these results. It's not that like a one-time luck. It has been repeatedly coming from the time I've been doing it, and it is amazing. This kind of game will completely change your results. And what will happen is you'll be able to generate like 10 to 50 times more inquiries. Now, if you are able to generate 10 to 50 times more inquiries or appointments, what kind of career graph you would have here? You become like a extended marketing arm for your company. Your asset value goes up. Your personal branding on LinkedIn goes up, which means even if someone wants to hire you and they see that you have a large following and stuff like that, and you're already marketing your services, so without any interviews, most of the time you crack their interviews without even properly giving an interview. Also getting into big positions, you can negotiate well because your asset value is going very high. And later in down your career, once you're off your jobs after 10-15 years, if you're able to build a sizable following, ladies and gentlemen, you can monetize it also. Hell lot of benefits are over there. So a lot of benefits of inbound marketing, and that's the future, because LinkedIn is suppressing slowly outbound reach. You would have noticed now you are able to view less profiles. You're able to send less connection requests. That limit is constantly coming down. Give me an idea if you have noticed or not. Yes or no? Absolutely. So LinkedIn is killing outbound marketing. They want more people into inbound marketing. So all the salespeople, you have to switch over to inbound marketing. Otherwise, down the line, after 13-14 months, it will be completely killed. So to give you an idea, if you would like to learn that, I'm doing a workshop pretty soon on LinkedIn. It is going to be a 2 weeks workshop. So if you go to my website, dishaconsultants.com, you scroll down over here to sales training programs. I'm sorry. And just below the free webinars, you will see something called as workshops. Now, these are the paid workshops that I do. I do workshops about being a LinkedIn expert in 2 weeks, lead generation expert in telecalling and cold calling, and sales closing expert. So if you click on more details, you can read about all the topics that I would be covering. I would be covering outbound, as well as I'll be more focused on inbound, because that's going to give massive results for you. So I'll be solving all these challenges. You can learn what topics I will cover, and you'll learn. You can find from this brochure that has been mentioned over there. And right now the special offer is going on. It is there for, I think, 2-3 days. So if you're interested and if you would like to enroll into it, you have an interest for that, you can always take part in that. So that brings me towards the end of this webinar. Everyone, I hope it was insightful. What to get WhatsApp group access. All right. try, in fact, let me give this access to you guys right away. Just give me a moment here. Maybe I could get you the group link. And there it is. It's there to everyone. So if you would like to join this WhatsApp group where I announce all my workshops and all my webinars and all the videos that I do. So I'll be doing a lot of videos over there. That will also come first in the WhatsApp group. So you can join as part of it if you would like to have a consistent learning over there. All right. So that brings me towards the end of it, everyone. Do you have any questions that I could help you with? What are the elements of good persuasive message? Subhash, I have discussed all the elements in this